Yeah, so you're applying for the writer position. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself and like your background?
Yeah, sure. So, as far as I guess my writing journey, I'm from the East Coast originally, Connecticut, and I grew up sort of doing a lot of writing and stuff like that. And I kind of fell in love with screenwriting and playwriting. And like from high school, I started working in this for like a big kind of Minecraft server, I guess, which at the time I
Oh,
didn't realize. I mean, I knew I loved Minecraft and played
uh-huh.
it, but I didn't realize that people were being paid to write quests for these servers. So I worked with in one of those and did like a lot of scripts for like their whole thing was like an Avatar, the Last Airbender sort of themed server. So I wrote quests doing that and was like, oh, like this is amazing. And so I kind of kept like video game writing on my mind. But I went to school in Philadelphia and I majored in screenwriting and playwriting at Drexel University.
Oh my God, that's where I
Um,
went.
oh, really?
Yep, for computer science.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, actually, that's well, continue talking and I'll.
Okay,
I didn't mean
wow,
to
that's
interrupt you, but yeah, that is
no, no,
crazy.
no. That's exciting though. I'm glad to stumble, especially since like this. Well, yeah, we can get into that. But so yeah, so I majored in screenwriting and playwriting there, and I continued writing and was sort of like in like a TV writing sort of track, and that's kind of like what my main goal is now. After I graduated, I moved out here to LA and started working for MGM Studios. Like I was very fortunate to get a job there, sort of something that's like tangentially related to what I want to do, but of
Yeah,
course, you're working all the time to get to that goal. But TV writing is or video game writing is something that I've continued to try to do as much as possible on the side, and then like doing things like this, like projects like this, I was shocked that like this was something, like I just found this on LinkedIn, like, but I'm excited to hear more about what you have to say about that. But like,
sweet.
I
Yeah,
guess, yeah, definitely. And then I just yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I am now. I've just sort of like written for like another Minecraft server and then been doing a lot of freelance writing on the side. But I guess that's where I am now. Yeah.
that's awesome. Have you ever heard of Open Pit?
No.
They're like a Minecraft company, I guess. They like use Minecraft to create like virtual festivals.
Oh,
It's
wow.
pretty neat, but they like do that whole like writing quests and it's just like as you're listening to the music and seeing your like favorite artists in Minecraft, you can kind of roam around and do other things as well. It's pretty neat.
Oh, wow.
But
It's called Open Pit.
yeah,
I'm gonna write this down.
what is
That's
your
cool.
process like for when you're creating these quests for Minecraft?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one thing that's crazy about like video game writing in general is like there's like kind of this it seems like so open book. Like there's actually a video game writing class at Drexel that I took that was sort of helpful, like in sort of like
Nice.
figuring out like how to do it. But I think in general, like so far, I've sort of just like tried to hear out like what the client or whatever was looking for, and then just tried to make it like that. In the beginning, it was like super basic, kind of just like literally writing a script, and I think that that's how a lot of companies do it. Like I've read like a good like big sections of like the GTA 5 screenplay, I guess you could call it, which is just like this insane, like 1,000-page document. But like
Yes.
they started just like write it the same way, just like the individual quests. And so I think that's like the primary way I try to do it. Of course, like with I'm not exactly sure how um this one is going to be, but like it seems like with having like the multiple dialogue options, you just sort of build that in, and I think it's just like a sort of like writing 5 scripts or whatever amount of dialogue options there are, but like
Right.
within one storyline, which is like intense but also like very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So before I well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and then I'll kind of ask you some questions about like the RPG that we're making, and kind of see how much of it you've played, and then fill in some details that you might have been missing. But yeah, so I'm Day. Also went to Drexel, as did the two other people on the DV&C Tech team.
Oh, wow.
So DV&C Tech were like the main developers behind the game. And yeah, the three of us graduated from Drexel.
Can I ask
And
oh, sorry to interrupt, but I was going to
no,
ask
go for
what
it.
year you graduated.
I graduated 2 years ago. I
Okay.
started in 2012 though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I graduated 2018, so we probably were in
Oh
the
yeah,
same class then. Yeah.
totally. What were you studying? You said screenwriting and playwriting?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like in the cinema and television department.
Yeah, I was down there quite frequently because I like was obsessed with taking film classes.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And also
amazing.
the
Yeah.
computer science section is in that same section.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
live there in U Crossings.
yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. Is this like just coincidence or is this
Yeah,
like you saw?
definitely.
Okay, wow, yeah. That's good to know that the dragons were out there in force then, you know.
Seriously. Did you have a co-op in LA that brought you there like before?
I didn't I did the Drexel in LA program, which was like a
Okay.
free co-op thing, but
Yeah.
then I ended up working in New York, but I was just like I had like some connections out here and then knew other people from high school who had moved out here, so just sort of used
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a good amount of friends that have moved to LA from my Drexel time.
Oh, okay. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Philly originally.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So are you
And
still there in Philadelphia or?
yep, we're still in Philly.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
wonderful.
it is. I love it here so much.
Yeah. Yeah, LA is very much overrated. So don't, you know,
I like
but
visiting there for sure, but
right, exactly. I think that's the key. You come for like a week or whatever, and then you go back to an actual real place, you know, like
yeah.
so. But yeah, but sorry to throw off your whole story and
Oh
everything.
no, no problem. Yeah, so have you gotten a chance to play the RPG or the demo rather?
I just downloaded it last night. I feel really awful, but like I had just finished another project like in the last few days, but I watched the trailer and then I've like
Perfect.
meticulously read all the character notes. Like I really
Oh,
love that
nice.
the thing you sent yesterday or that you guys sent. That was great. But then besides that, I've just sort of read all this stuff, but I haven't gotten to play yet.
Cool. So yeah, from the demo trailer that you probably saw, there was like that battle system where you're selecting jokes, and it kind of does that over and over again. Um, our plan for the game, and some of we've already started like releasing some battle updates to the main Monochrome workshop, um, is a more like active battle system. So those jokes are now just a smaller part of the overall battle system. Um, just because a lot of people were saying that it needed a little bit more. And so
That
that's
makes sense. Yeah.
primarily what we're working on now. But luckily, we have this workshop, and it allows us to really like work on a lot of things at once, because we have like people that want to share their ideas, that want to share their art, and then also, get paid for their contributions. Um,
Right.
and so the theme of the game, uh, about like empathy and not resorting to violence, and really needing to be close to your community, um, we wanted those themes to extend to the workshop as well. And so that's kind of what the workshop is about. Um, and so so you're in the lobby right now, and the way it's structured is there's the lobby, and then after these interviews, we'll start onboarding people into the main Discord, where we
Mhm.
have people contributing, and getting contracts and such. But is there anything that you already know about the workshop that I haven't discussed?
Yeah, I've started to like I mean it's like a lot of information at once, you know? So I've
Yeah.
started to like definitely like the creative bouts, like I've like looked at that, but then like I was planning like I mean I know the first one starts on the 24th, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so I need to look into that and start getting that all set up and everything, I guess. But what can you just explain a little bit to me like what that is, I
Yeah,
guess?
totally. So the creative bout is our way of kind of keeping the lobby not just interested, but like engaging with the lobby because as you might have seen, there's a lot of people in the lobby, and we
Oh,
really weren't
yes.
expecting this like um, this turnout. And so while we're also kind of managing the main workshop, we don't want to leave y'all hanging. So um,
Yeah.
we're still trying to give everybody opportunities and just making sure that we're facilitating uh, the idea that these all you people everybody is like in a community together, and if you can find your people and help each other with projects you might have. And this creative bout is kind of just a project that we've given to everybody to do, and yeah, it also gives you the opportunity to win some cash prizes and also just like directly get a contract to move from the lobby to the main Discord.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's wonderful. I think it's really an amazing thing. Like it does seem like there's like how many people in total like are on
yeah.
the project now kind of.
So I think in the main Discord there's about 200 people.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, some of those people kind of like join and then are just offline the whole time. But I think
Right.
that's the number. And then in the lobby Discord, there's like definitely over 1,000
Oh,
people.
Jesus, wow.
Yeah,
That's like a mid-sized company or something.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. But the lobby has been amazing. It's just like totally taken on a life of its own. It's been
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think that it definitely is. And like it's cool, like just you've sort of created this place where all these creative people are coming together, you know, especially like in the video game space, like it's hard to find, at least personally, like I rarely find other writers who are writing video game stuff. So it's been cool to see everybody like talking about it and everything, and then sharing drawings, which is it's really cool.
Yeah, totally. So is there anything that I haven't talked about that you've been curious about, either regarding the game or the workshop?
I guess so. Basically, like the way it works is like once I go through this interview, and I'm sure you probably have like, I'm sure you've just been through dozens upon dozens of these, but like, so once like I go through this step and everything, then I'll kind of begin moving towards the main lobby of the game. And then like,
Hmm.
you guys will give me a better sense of like exactly what I'm writing. Like I know their quests and everything. And like I love the whole thing of like the jokes, you know, being the attacks. I agree that like you probably need like more meat there or something, but like
Yeah,
I think that's beautiful, and the whole idea of like, you know, it being about not resorting to violence and empathy is like that's right up my alley because I've always been a big advocate of comedy sort of being this this way to just cool things down, you know, or sort of like to level things out and bring people together. So I'm
for
definitely
sure.
excited to write some cheesy, wonderful puns.
Yes, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, so um, yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. After so like early June, like first second week of June timeframe, um, we will have finished up this first round of interviews, and then at the same time, we'll also have solidified our writing pipeline for like people like yourself to be able to get these contracts and understand like what their actual deliverable is. Um, and so a lot of the writing will be based around the art assets that we have, because like those are going to be the quest items. And so essentially what we'll do is kind of you'll be able to see the different art assets that you can use in your story, as well as
Mhm.
characters. And yeah, and you already like have a really good idea, it seems, of the characters and locations in the game, if you read those
Right.
docs. But yeah, I
That's
think
great. Yeah, I think that that's a really, from a writing perspective, I think that's a really intuitive way to do it. To sort of, and I think that'll allow me to help you guys get like exactly what you want, like tonally and everything. Just like, because like being able to literally, like, that's one thing that really impressed me was like looking at the characters and everything, like having the drawings there, and then you just write about those is like pretty. I think that's going to help a lot, and I'm sure people will be able to pump out a ton of these quests. Do you know like sort of what's the end goal from the game? Like, do you guys have like an investor, or is that how it works? Like someone
yeah,
that's like putting
so
money
we
in?
are right now, we're looking for publishers at the same time we're developing the game. So for this, like, um, the stage we're at now, the reason we were able to do this was because we did find a little bit of funding, and we've kind of been using that to facilitate this workshop. Um, and yeah, we're just looking for more money to give more people bigger opportunities, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think that's great.
um, yeah. So, out of curiosity, have you ever played anything like the RPG or the workshop, or seen anything like the workshop?
I've never seen anything like the workshop. Like, I've never been a sort of a part of something like this. I've played a game. I mean, I've played a lot of RPGs like Fallout and stuff like that. And even like I used to in high school, I played World of Warcraft and everything. So I sort of have like a good sense. And then I know that there's a game with that teacup. Have you ever seen that? I
Oh
totally
yeah,
forget what.
Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead. That kind of reminded me of it a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was like some inspiration.
it's
But
definitely
yeah.
been referenced.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that like the thing that people have said over and over or something?
yeah, for sure. And I mean,
Uh,
we realized it immediately as we started working on the game, but
yeah,
it's a great comparison to have, honestly.
it is. Yeah, this is definitely its own thing now. I really, I think that this is really cool, and it's different from most games I've seen. And I think kind of like as far as like from a writing perspective, it's just like sort of brings that more into the fold because I do believe that like video games are sort of the next big step in writing, as far as like
Yeah,
writing for media. So I think that this like
truly.
is definitely an evolution of that.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot with like kind of the rise of like immersive media and like VR gaming, and just like what that actually brings to the table in terms of narrative is, and just like, yeah, it's just been very interesting. I used to love video games growing up, and then I kind of stopped for a while, and ever since being quarantined, I just have fallen in love with games again, and just
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy how much time I can sink into games.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was my problem in high school with World of Warcraft. Like I
Oh,
was
me
like,
too.
this
Yeah.
is too addictive, and it's like something I don't readily admit, but like that thing, it got me. You know what
It,
I mean?
me
Like
too.
I was totally sucked in. But yeah, I totally get that. I like put it down and then like I've come back more in recent years and it's really exciting to see stuff like this. So thanks for
Yeah.
making this opportunity for all these people.
So right now you said you're working at MGM still.
Yes.
Is that the
Yeah.
case with like the quarantine and everything? You're just working remotely, or?
Yeah, I'm working remotely and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty nervous just because of the
Mm,
whole broadcast or like ad sales environment
yeah.
right now. But a job is a job. And I've been able to successfully, especially since I'm in quarantine, do a lot of client work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just finished up this last big project. So now freed up, to help on this or whatever you guys need.
Cool. So like, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? Is it kind of going deeper into the MGM pipeline, or?
I think I think I'm trying to figure out how to kind of pivot more towards, being involved in like making TV, like ideally I would be a staff writer on a show, hopefully something animated. And then like the video game stuff is like something that I really want to like develop kind of like in my own free time. You know what I mean? Like doing
Yeah.
stuff like this and then writing for, little mobile games and things like that. I like a lot of writers that I meet out here, it's like they're sort of like it's like all they write is TV pilots, you know what I mean? And I think
Uh-huh.
that the most successful writers I've seen have sort of done like had their hands in a lot of things. Like they write comic books and movies and
Right.
novels. So
What kind of TV shows do you like?
I
Like, what do
definitely
you find
like
inspiration from?
I think like dark comedy, or I really like things that are sort of like they're like hyper realistic, but then sort of have these like magical surrealism. I think those
Okay.
kinds of shows are really good. I just finished watching that show Upload, which I guess is
I
more
don't
like
know that
a
one.
satire. Yeah, it's like pretty new, and it's about this guy who it's like in a futuristic world where people when they die, they can take their soul or their essence and upload it onto a cloud, like their like all their digital information, and then they live
Oh,
like in a digital heaven, I guess.
cool.
But
Oh, it's an Amazon Prime show.
yeah, it's like brand new. I highly recommend it. The first two episodes are like so. There's like a lot of kind of clunky world building, I guess, but
Uh-huh.
once you get into it, it's definitely funny.
Awesome. Yeah, so your kind of goal of being a TV writer, or even just like more freelance writing for games, what value do you see us providing towards that goal?
I think one big thing that you guys I have like you recognized is like building a portfolio. Like having the opportunity in video game writing to build a portfolio is just difficult, especially from a writing perspective, I think, because you don't have like I don't have a computer science background or a game design background. So there's like
Hmm.
almost so much I can do. And I think that like a lot of sort of self starters sort of learn that. And I think that's something that I want to try to take the next steps. But this definitely like will give me the opportunity to be like, hey, like here's this thing that I worked on, I wrote this quest, and I think that's like a huge thing. And then also just like working with other people, I think is extremely important. Getting that in like is like a very sort of there's not many places where you can get that, you know what I mean? Like, and I
For
think that
sure.
that's like a very professional sort of experience that you need to sort of take the next steps.
Cool. So on the flip side, what are like some challenges that you foresee working in the workshop?
I think that I think like I've said, there's like a lot of people, which is beautiful, but then there's also like, it's a lot of people,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is difficult. But I think like so far, it seems like you guys have done a really good job, like coordinating it as best as you can.
Hmm.
And then so I think that can be challenging, like sort of feeling a centered team focus. And then I think that I don't know. I think it depends like on the scope of the game, but I think as anything with video game writing, it can take a lot of time to pump out as much content as is needed.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some things that we can do to like kind of mitigate those challenges?
Hmm. I think with the large people, you guys seems like you guys have that covered. I think with the amount of content, it's just about like scheduling, and making sure that like each individual writer kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it'll be like, but like one thing is that like if people sort of have free reign to like write a quest with these characters, but it can sort of be anything, you know,
Hmm.
it might come down to being like sort of specifying what you need, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure that like you guys will be wanting to shape some kind of thing, you know, like it's like you could take these same characters and locations and like write like a haunted house story or something,
Oh
you know, or you
yes,
could
I
write like,
love that
yeah,
idea.
yeah, that would be great.
um,
Or like a mystery or something like that. So I think it's just like letting people know, like, okay, you guys are going to work on this location, you guys are going to work on this location, that kind of
exactly, yeah. And just so you know, part of um, what we plan on doing to kind of help with that is definitely encouraging a lot of drafts. And when you post drafts, it's not just like the us providing feedback. It'll be like some of the other people that we've identified as kind of workshop members that really know the tone and can really their feedback definitely means a lot to us.
thing. Hmm.
So yeah, even if like we're not available to provide feedback, there will be somebody who's there to help you.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that that is really, really smart. Yeah, like being almost having like almost like editors or something on a newspaper, like who can kind
Yeah,
of be like shoot it back and be like, hey, like this doesn't really match, and like that will be. I think that'll be the fastest way to get everybody on the same page. So I think that's really great to hear.
yeah, it's definitely been working with like the music and artists. So um, yeah, I can't wait to see what the writers' room is going to look like. Um,
Have
so
any of the? Oh, sorry.
oh no, go ahead. What's up?
I was just going to ask, have any of the writers started writing any of the quests or anything?
No, we have not had any writers started yet.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Um,
That's exciting now.
it is very exciting. We like the script that we have is kind of just us writing, and yeah, we're excited to get some actual writer minds in there.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
so imagine there are like no limitations to what we can do with the workshop. How could we
Mhm.
exceed your expectations?
Oh man. I mean, if you guys took the game and then like, you know, it became like a published thing, I guess, you know, and
Yeah,
it's like became a real company and like, well, I'm sure that that's your goal, but that would be like that would be the best thing, I guess, as far as just like a career standpoint. But then like creatively, like if it can become a space where people can, you know, and it's definitely already like starting to happen. Like you see all the seeds of people talking about the ideas and the characters like just in the lobby, so it's like unprompted, so people are clearly excited. But like if you can create a creative space where everybody is able to sort of like create this game all at once, you know, I
yeah,
think that would definitely be an amazing feat, you know what I mean, to shape this thing. But like, and I think you need to have like focal points, obviously, and people in charge, but letting people sort of like design and foster the game, I think will make something that's pretty amazing.
yeah. That's awesome to hear because that is definitely our goal. Um, and yeah, actually, I do need to go, unfortunately, but it
Oh,
was
no
super
worries.
cool to talk to you.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you for taking the time, and I'm excited.
yeah, me too. Cool. Well, have a good rest of your day. Okay.
Yeah, you too. Stay safe, man.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.